Oh, well, look at the bright side. The game's over. No, it turns out you can have an off year and then win a lottery and end up pretty good. Let's go! It starts with an A and ends with anxiety. Off the charts levels of passion. That's just a nightmare. With you wherever you are, welcome to LFR. Leafs lose, and boy do they, 5-3 to the New York Islanders. The end of this season cannot come fast enough! Saturday night on the STPN YouTube channel, I'm going to be streaming my final Leafs game of the season. Obviously, I'm going to be doing an LFR video for every remaining Leaf game. Saturday night is going to be my final stream of the season. I know that game is going to stink. You know that game is going to stink. Let's watch that stinky game together. Please, please. One of the things that has gotten me through the past couple months of Leafs hockey are those Saturday night streams. They are genuinely fun. It is great. Misery loves company. Please be my company. Now, how about we come out of the gate with gas? Fire Craig Berube today. Today. No, Steve. Wait until they hire a president and then hire a GM. Fire him today. The president and GM, whoever the Leafs get to come in, should not have to suffer the indignity of firing this man who should definitely not be the coach anymore. Holy Moses. It shouldn't be. The new GM should not have to come in and fire this coach, and we're all supposed to act like, oh, he's already used a bullet. No! From Sportsnet stats, Maple Leafs are outshot by 25 or more for the 5th time this season, setting a franchise record. 25 or more? Neither team in yesterday's game had more than 21 shots. You've been outshot by 25 or more 5 times by teams in the same league as you? What are you talking about? They didn't even realize they were sellers until barely a month ago. 5? The final shots on goal in Artur Actimov's first NHL start, by the way, were 44-16. And it was actually worse than that. Leafs were outshot by the Isles in the third period, 8-7. Oh no. Leafs were outshot by the Isles 12-6 in the second period. Oh no. Oh, that's really bad. They got doubled up. That was the stop the bleeding period. First period, the Leafs were outshot 24-3, which on the broadcast they said was the widest margin of getting outshot in any one period by any team this entire season, league-wide! Dude, if you're on the coaching staff, your fob shouldn't work tomorrow. What? 24 to what? Steve, I thought you wanted them to lose. I thought Leaf fans wanted them to tank. Yeah, but there's a way to do it. And we're gonna get into it today. But there was an artistry to the 2015-16 season by the Leafs, because they finished last. And we kind of wanted them to. And you can't even scold us for it. They got Austin Matthews. But that team that finished in last on purpose, holy cow, they didn't put us through this. 24-3? Did Artur Actimov key all of your cars? And there's actually a notion out there, like within hockey, that Craig Berube is coaching for his next job. And my only question is his next job retirement? Getting outshot by 25 shots or more 5 times in one season that isn't even done yet should be impossible. And all we're really asking for is a general effort and play the kids. And what happens? We find out Actimov's getting called up and he's getting the start. Yes. Luke Hames is getting called up and he's going to play. Yes. William Villeneuve and Ryan Twerberg also called up. Why didn't you get specific with those guys? Then throughout the day, it's like, oh, well, they're going to be game time decisions. And we're going to see. And they took warm-up and everything. And then they didn't play! Oh, good. Oh, good. No, that's good. So Actimov's getting his first start. Good, great. Luke Hames is going to be in the game. Good, great. William Villeneuve and Ryan Twerberg flew all the way to Long Island to consume popcorn in the stands. Wow, okay, great. Let's see how this goes. You know what? You're right. We can't have those kids thrown to the wolves in this game. We need to have a more veteran-savvy lineup who's going to come out of the gate great and show these kids how to play. And they get outshot 24 to holy smoking 3. He starts the D pair of Troy Stetcher and Simone Benoit, which feels like a direct middle finger to either the fan base, front office, or both. And then Philip Myers, another guy who just had to be in the lineup, takes a penalty. It's a delayed penalty. The Isles still have the puck. Now it's 6-on-5. Goalie out of the net for the extra attacker. It is a yard sale until the Islanders find the back of the net! Less than 2 minutes in! Well, technically the goal was just after 2 minutes in, but the penalty that Myers took was before 2 minutes in. And it's just a shame because I'm not sure how much Villeneuve or Twerberg learned from all that because they probably weren't even in their seats yet! And I'm just sitting there going, why couldn't they have just played in this game? Actimov did allow 5 goals in this game, but we're gonna keep track of what they were because I think that's important for later. Still less than 5 minutes in. Leafs lose a D-zone draw. It's Domi. That's how you know that, oh boy, shouldn't be a center, shouldn't be taking D-zone draws. There's only a few games left, everyone's out, and here we are. Matias Michelli goes for the puck, he does not get it, which leads to this point-blank bomb. Actimov makes the save. Do the Leafs get the rebound? They do not. Islanders do. Islanders are able to pass it. Do they get the guy who it's being passed to? They do not. Like, the shift just started, boys, holy cow. ARD, welcome to the league, kid, and it's 2-0. Then, the next face-off, I see 43 at center ice, and I go, oh, that's Luke Hames. Is this his first shift? Sorry. Is it 2-0 at the time that he's taking his first shift? And here's why it might actually be wise if you want the Leafs to tank to not play these Marlies. He has an immediate positive impact. Literally 16 seconds later, seconds into his NHL career, Leafs get the puck deep in the Islanders' zone. Hames does not touch the puck, but he creates the stick check and therefore turnover that allows Lorentz to get the puck, and he just fires it and scores. Ilya Sorokin did not have a very sharp game and almost gave up an awful goal right before this. But it didn't matter. Luke Hames doesn't get his first NHL point there, but he's a big help in getting the Leafs somehow, undeservedly, back within 1. Which is hilarious because at the end of this period, where the Leafs were outshot, I'm going to emphasize, once again, 24-3, they were only down 1, which they do all the time. It's funny. This year's version of the Leafs is exactly like last year's version of the Leafs, just worse in every way. Stylistically, they're actually very similar. They just do everything they did last year way worse. And hilariously, amazingly, Leafs get a power play early in the second. They're on the power play. John Tavares gets the puck. They're booing him. They don't like him very much. I don't know if you know that or not. He gives it to Easton Cowan. He rips it. This game is tied. And listen, I'm not watching these Leafs games to watch many players in particular, but Easton Cowan is one of those players. And he scores, and he's been great recently, and I'm happy. And I'm sure you were happy. But wasn't part of you a little bitter, huh? Yes, they tied it. How did they tie it? Oh my God, they tied it. Here's the thing. They got caved in the first period. It's not the first period anymore. They were only down 1. Now they're not down at all. They can mess around and win this game. Now, luckily, the New York Islanders have a transformational player who they picked first overall less than a year ago, and I just think that's a neat concept. And that player plays defense, and I just think that's a neat concept. Matthew Schaefer scores what would be a record-tying goal against the Leafs, and I just think that's a neat concept. That is the 18-year-old's 23rd of the season. When you are an 18-year-old defenseman in the National Hockey League, it is not normal to score more goals than you have years alive. 23 tying Brian Leetch, who I've read is quite good. Oh, sorry, Islanders fans are watching this video. He was bad. And then this is when the Islanders start to pull away because the Islanders get a power play, which, believe it or not, they were not actually on the entire time. Emil Heineman, who's having an incredible season, he finishes off a great passing play. It's 4-2. And then in the third period, it's a 5-on-5 5-on-3. The Islanders simply do not need this advantage. Which sucks because Artur Actimov actually makes what is literally the best save of his career off of Braden Shen. Absolutely robs him. Naturally, after a save like that, there is a rebound. Naturally, the Leafs can't clear it, and naturally, the Islanders score. So it's 5-2. And the Islanders actually scored a 6-1 in this game. It just happened to be on themselves. That made the final score 5-3. But, and I didn't realize this at the time, that is Luke Hames' first NHL point. Point per game player, Luke Hames. Luke Hames' first NHL point is technically like a third assist. Because it was Luke Hames to Matthias Michelli to Morgan Rielly who put it off of Matt Barzal and in. Point's a point. Hope they kept the puck. Now, here's what I was alluding to earlier with Actimov. Yeah, he allowed 5 goals. We should mention it was on 44 shots. Like, I don't think you understand. He allowed 2 goals in the first period and left that period with a save percentage above 900. Do you get it? One of those goals was a 6-on-5 delayed penalty. Another one was on a 5-on-4 power play. And another one was a 5-on-3 power play. And yeah, if you're gonna have a long-term NHL career or any NHL career, you do kind of have to stop those also. But as far as first career NHL starts go, it is a miracle he made it through the first 20 minutes. It's a miracle he made it through the entire game. And thank goodness William Villeneuve and Ryan Twerberg didn't play in this game because reasons. Fire Craig Berube today, right before the end of the sentence that I am speaking. Oh, well then who do you... I don't care. Honest to goodness, don't care. Have anyone else do the next 3 games. Holy cow. I guess if the mission is to lose games, keep them. But the moment the season is done, enough. What are we doing here? Nothing gives me more stress about the future of the Toronto Maple Leafs than the idea that they would retain this person. For the purpose of what? Good Lord! Oh, this is good. Let's solve some problems. This is Bean. If you're only listening to this, it's a cat. He showed up outside our apartment building on Monday crying, skinny, and stinky, collarless, and without a microchip. He's about 6 months old and a darling. Thing is, our senior kitty, Alaska, has been an only child for 10 years and hisses at the room he's in. Ideas? First of all, Bean is a very nice name, but you have a cat named Alaska and you missed the opportunity to name this cat Mystery. If you didn't get that, I resent you because I'm old, and if you're old enough to get that, good. Alright, I'm a dog guy. What do you do when a cat just shows up? Who do you call? Let's find Bean a home. Or explain how to make Bean a home with Alaska in it. Or let's get Bean back home. I don't know. Oh man. There are cat guys and dog guys, right? I just don't get it. I don't get it. God, I want another dog. I'm sad that Callie Yarncroke is our extra attacker. I know it's not a question. I'm just sad this is where we are. Saying Callie Yarncroke is our extra attacker out loud is so funny. He has 6 goals this season, and half of them came in the first week. Remember that? He had like 3 goals in 3 games. It was crazy. Remember that? Yeah, he's got 3 goals since then. So he's got like 3 post-Canadian Thanksgiving goals. Extra attacker. Not Jake Quillen, who has scored a lot in the AHL this season, or Luke Hames, same thing. Not literally anybody else. I'd fire him tonight. Not to his face. No, I'm not a stupid person, but like, I would definitely have someone do it for me if I ran the show, which no one runs the show. What was that statement the Leafs released today, by the way? We appreciate the interest in the Maple Leafs head of hockey operations search. Neil Glassberg, president of the coaches agency, has been retained to assist in the search. The organization's top priority is to respect the integrity of the process, and we will not be providing updates or confirmations on potential candidates during the process. We are pleased by the progress to date and will provide a formal update once the search is complete. What? So the Leafs are basically confirming a report that's been out there that they hired this guy named Neil to help them look for executives. And people are talking about it, and people are asking them questions about it. And I understand them releasing this statement. I still don't know why they did it. People ask the Leafs questions all the time. People badgered the Leafs with questions all the time. Annoying questions about everything. Why did they feel the need to do this? I remember understanding the Leafs. That was a nice thing about Kyle Dubas in some ways. You knew exactly what he was going to do in every situation. Does he have a first-round pick? He's trading that thing down. He's signing Sioux Greyhounds. He's going to go out there and get the little guy. He's going to go out there and make a trade with the St. Louis Blues. Remember when we talked about the fact that Dubas used to trade with like 6 guys? He did that consistently for like a decade in Toronto. It was great. Then there's Brad who comes in, and I remember making a video about, okay, let's see if we can find trends in who he makes deals with. Nope. And now it's just whatever this is. I don't even know who's in charge. Oh, wait, yes, I do. There's no one in charge other than a guy who has an absolutely impossible job in Keith Pelly, and also he's not doing very well at the impossible job. Caulfield got 50 and Habs beat the Lightning. When is Habs fan or hater reactions coming? How about streams? Because I'm going to be doing that. First round of the playoffs, I'm going to be streaming the Habs versus whoever they play. This is what it's come to. It's that or nothing. All right, well, that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this player. Click subscribe if you really like to. Tell your friends to check out some fun AHL action on Saturday night. Whatever's left of the Leafs versus whatever's left of the Panthers.